We do forecasting of disease evolution, starting with Alzheimer's disease. It's the prediction of the near-term evolution of these individuals at different stages of the disease.
Welcome to Startup Health TV, where we celebrate the entrepreneurs and the innovators who are transforming health. I'm Logan Plaster with my friend here, Christian Dansereau from Perceiv AI, CEO and co-founder of this very interesting company working on Alzheimer's and the prognosis, right? The trajectory of Alzheimer's. Tell me about what you've built.
Exactly. So Perceiv is a precision medicine company. We do forecasting of disease evolution in Alzheimer's disease, starting with Alzheimer's disease. And it's the prediction of the near-term evolution of these individuals at different stages of the disease.
I feel like, so I've been learning a lot about the Alzheimer's market through the Startup Health Alzheimer's Moonshot. So a lot of folks that do diagnostics, there's therapeutics, but actually you're the only company that I know of that is doing this prognosis work. Is it as unique as it seems to me in the market?
Yeah. I mean, it's the big question is usually like, can we diagnose a disease to an earlier and earlier ideally, and then obviously can we treat it? But after that, the second question is to optimally treat somebody, you need to find them at the right time. And for that, you need a bit of information about their clinical trajectory or where they are going so that you can catch them at the right time for a clinical intervention. And that requires prognostic information or an idea of where that patient is going, his severity. It's a bit like in oncology where you will have the risk or the severity of a specific cancer will kind of inform you on how aggressive you should treat that patient or when to treat that patient, where he is in his progression.
Given that your company is deep in AI, machine learning, how do you handle the fact that the field is just changing and evolving so quickly? So like whatever company you started 5 years ago, like it seems from the outside, since I'm not an AI expert, that it is. Things are evolving very quickly. So how flexible do you have to be? How do you handle that?
I mean, in terms of technology, that didn't change much. Our strategy and the products that we've developed, it's more the openness from our clients and pharma and other users towards AI and AI adoption, that now they realize that this is a strategy that they need to have in order to really get their head out of the water from these types of massive disease. So I think it's welcome.
Did you have any specific turning points, any sort of eureka moments where you realized where the clients you were talking to who were kind of slow to adopt, all of a sudden they said, hey, Christian, we need what you have because like we see the tide shifting?
Yeah, I mean, so we were doing a lot of outbound or trying to reach out to a lot of large companies in the past. We've presented new results this year that kind of changed that dynamic where like now we have a lot more inbound or large companies and some of them that we wanted to talk to for a while that are now reaching out and are very interested. So I think that shows a bit that we are the right kind, not just for the disease, but also in terms of the product.
Has that been gratifying? Now more inbounds, less outbounds?
It's very encouraging to see that dynamic and to see that interest now that's shifted.
Okay. You and I got to talk at AAIC, a big conference in Philadelphia, not too long ago. Has anything major happened in the company since then?
Yeah. So we just last week announced that we've recruited the former senior vice president neuroscience of Roche to our board of directors. So we are very, very proud of that. And it's amazing to have Simona on our board. She's been incredibly valuable so far and great insights from the clinical trial development all the way to commercialization of these drugs. So having somebody from the other side also is great.
If you had to try to be objective, why do you think she agreed to join your startup?
Well, I think she sees that there is a part of the future there in terms of how we should address and treat these patients and manage these clinical trials. Like we need more insight and I think better. She sees that with the product that we are offering.
What's your bigger vision? What do you hope Perceiv AI is, let's say in 5 years, and how do you hope that care for Alzheimer's patients is different in 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that we are able to conduct much smaller and effective clinical trials in the near-term future, being able to support all of these biotechs and large pharma in Alzheimer's disease, and on top of that, expand into other neurological disease as well, because like that need is not only for Alzheimer's disease, but it's across the board, Parkinson, MS, and others. So it's important that we support the whole neuroscience community. We see a big momentum for neurology in the next 10 years, or where like precision medicine is more applied, and that's super exciting and encouraging. So we want to support that new shift.
So your focus will remain in neuroscience, but your approach could apply in a lot of different verticals?
Yeah. Even broader than neuroscience, but our main focus is in neuroscience for the near to moderate time future. Yeah.
I'm curious, you're part of Startup Health's Alzheimer's Moonshot community, big focus on collaboration and kind of supporting one another within this niche. Any experiences that stand out to you where that sort of supportive community has been helpful?
I mean, it's a close-knit community. So like maybe half of those members, I knew them either from past scientific conference that we are all presenting to. So that's nice to see the friends that we already knew, and then expand that network with other people that we didn't knew but are still part of the community and are super valuable. So that's very cool to have a community around.
You know, a question that I have is the difference between having just an associate that you bump into and you've seen before at a conference, and what it takes to actually build a relationship of trust. And like, have you seen that be important in your work? Like, okay, I didn't just meet you once. I actually trust the way that you work, and now we can collaborate.
Well, that's fundamental. Like our whole business is based around trust, and what we've done so far is trying to put things in place to build that trust, either from scientific publication, ISO certification, being true to like and realistic, like not selling dreams that are not achievable, like trying to like, what can we do tomorrow with the current data that we have, the current technology and the current know-how that is available. So it's critical, and it takes some time, obviously, to build that trust. Like you need multiple touch point, and they need to see you at different conferences or others, and see that constant build up.
My mother likes to say you can't have quality time without quantity time. Sometimes you have to spend the time with folks and really be there again and again, like you just said.
Yeah. Obviously, this is kind of a bit counterintuitive to a startup that wants to push fast and execute fast, where like we need to have results fast, but at some point also we need to spend the time to do it properly. So
that's awesome. Well, Christian, thanks for giving me the update again, and wish you the best in the next year.
Thank you so much, Logan.
All right.